entire state of Florida in a state of emergency as Hurricane Irma grows closer and stronger. The potential path this Category 5 storm could take. And the looming threat is prompting millions to stock up on supplies, including here on the Suncoast, where some stores are already running low on those supplies. And with the end of Labor Day comes the cleanup on Suncoast beaches. Your Suncoast News starts now.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping our news today at noon, Hurricane Irma. It is now a Category 5 storm. Let's get the latest on the storm with meteorologist John Scalzi. John?
Yeah, thank you, Scott. In fact, not only a Category 5, but a strong Category 5. There have only been 6 other storms in history of the Atlantic Basin that have achieved this level of strength. And the eye wall looks like it's going to be moving right over the northern Leeward Islands as we head into the overnight tonight through tomorrow morning. 180 mile per hour winds currently, with about a 50 to 60 mile wide eye wall. This is getting to be a monster large storm. An impact that extends 100 miles or more beyond the center of the storm, moving to the west at about 15, taking it right over the Leeward or Windward Islands as a Category 5 hurricane. It probably will fluctuate in intensity a little bit over the course of the next 4 or 5 days as eye wall replacement cycles take place, and perhaps even some interaction with some of the higher mountains of Hispaniola and Cuba. But it is forecast on a track that still keeps it dangerously close to the state of Florida, and perhaps even enters it into Gulf waters as we head into the end of the weekend. A storm obviously of great concern to the state of Florida and increasingly to the west coast of the state of Florida as well, as computer models seem to be converging on a solution that takes it along this track. Again, the forecast error that far out is 300 miles, so anywhere from the Bahama Island chain all the way to south of Cuba could be at risk. We are looking here at the center of the storm, a clearly defined eye wall, a large expanse of cloud shield, symmetric on all levels. This is a powerful, well-developed storm system, creating its own environment, not seeming to be terribly affected by any kind of shear or anything else. And on top of that, just to the east of this storm and to the south, a newly formed tropical system, Jose, on a forecast track that hopefully keeps it out into open Atlantic waters. We'll talk more about Irma coming up in a few minutes. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. And with the threat of Irma comes massive preparations for all of us here in Florida. Meanwhile, Texas and Louisiana still recovering from the devastation of Hurricane Harvey. ABC's Brad Milkey has more from Texas.
Florida and Puerto Rico are bracing for Hurricane Irma, now upgraded to a Category 5 with winds reaching 175 miles an hour. This morning, residents aren't taking chances, stocking up on water, batteries, generators, and plywood. Stores struggling to keep up with demand, shelves emptying rapidly ahead of Irma's landfall.
I don't want to be stuck out like everyone else is usually late shopping, going for last minute things. There's nothing there.
FEMA, already dealing with Harvey, is getting prepared for Irma. Already they have more than 700,000 liters of water and 500,000 meals on hand. The National Guard activated, schools closed, cruise ships rerouted, American Airlines adding additional flights to get tourists out early.
We take care of the folks that really can't take care of themselves. We expect everybody else to mainly take care of themselves for 3 days, because it could take up to 3 days for us, to reach you.
While Florida prepares for Irma, cleanup is underway in Texas. It's been more than a week since Harvey dropped nonstop rain in Houston, and everywhere you look, you'll still find people working tirelessly. Residents have gutted homes, pulling out drywall, flooring, and furniture. Piles of water-damaged debris line the curb.
We can start all over again, but hey, things happen.
As the water recedes, another issue facing homeowners: fast-growing, potentially dangerous mold and mosquitoes breeding in standing water.
We've been very cautious when tearing out some of the sheetrock and the carpet. We've been wearing masks.
And here outside Houston, you can still see waterlogged trash sitting on lawns. Garbage crews had to be called in from San Antonio to help. The Red Cross had been focusing its attention here on Harvey, but now it's pre-positioning crews in Florida as well. Brad Milkey, ABC News, Bel Air, Texas.
Here on the Suncoast, many people are preparing just in case Irma impacts our area. This morning, bottled water is going very fast at many area stores. Some are sold out. Some are expecting more shipments. As of this morning, water was sold out at the Walmart on Cattleman Road in Sarasota, but we're told more shipments are expected later today. The store manager of Lowe's on Fruitville Road tells us they're already running low on batteries and generators. Bottled water is just one of the items you need in your hurricane storm kit to get ready for this storm. And you can find a complete list of things and ways to get ready for Irma if it does indeed impact our area by going to our website, mysuncoast.com. You'll find the information there. Also today, in Manatee County, sandbags are being handed out again. You can pick them up in Sarasota at Big Earth Landscape Supply locations in Bradenton and Palmetto and Sarasota. Free bags will be handed out throughout the week at Buffalo Creek, GT Bray Park, Lakewood Ranch Park, Rabonia Community Center, all starting at 10 o'clock in the morning. There's no word yet on locations in Sarasota County, but for more information on where you can get those sandbags, again, go to our website, mysuncoast.com. In other news developing this afternoon, Sarasota County Sheriff's deputies are investigating a shooting on Siesta Key. Deputies responding to the scene before 9 o'clock this morning along Ocean Boulevard. No one was killed. Injuries are not known at this moment. We're following the story and we'll have more details as they become available. An overnight crash claims the life of a 62-year-old man in Manatee County. It happened off State Road 70 and Greenbrook Boulevard. Troopers say the driver lost control of his car and struck a tree. He was taken to Lakewood Ranch Medical Center where he died. Suncoast beaches, stores and restaurants packed as usual for the Labor Day weekend. Places like CB Saltwater Outfitters on Siesta Key had big sales in their retail store, and their watercraft rentals were booked all weekend. The Daiquiri Deck's 4 locations had steady crowds throughout the holiday, as did many other businesses.
The whole weekend long has been packed, whether it's lunch, happy hour, dinner. Maybe not as busy as a 4th of July weekend, but we've had a great Labor Day weekend.
For this weekend, this is our big push, and we'll slow down after this. But yeah, this is Labor Day is a good weekend for us, definitely.
America's #1 beach getting a much-needed cleanup this morning. Dozens were out at Siesta Key Beach this morning to clean up what Labor Day beachgoers left behind. Volunteers working with the Greater Sarasota Chamber of Commerce to pick up trash, bottles, and other items left behind.
There's quite a need just because there are people, visitors and residents alike, that just either are having too much fun and they forget their trash and they don't forget to pack it back out.
It's not just the holidays. You see it every day, and it's not just tourists. Unfortunately, it is other residents too who just don't always pick up after themselves.
And for the volunteers' hard work, the county hosted a breakfast mixer afterwards. The cleanup is also part of the county's Give Back program. Still to come in your Suncoast News, being late to class is causing students at one high school to come out of their pockets. They're being fined for being late. We'll look at the new policy and how students are paying for their tardiness. Many of us want to clean up our eating habits, but many people are taking healthy eating to the extreme. We'll look at this growing trend coming up in Health Smart.